title of this podcast. Is the world becoming a kinder and gentler place? It depends on your point of view. And perhaps religion is the best POV for starting. Oriental religions, which are timeless and cyclic, teach that life is supposed to be difficult because facing difficulty is the only way we can grow. And only growth leads us from life's recurring cycles to higher and higher states of understanding and oneness with the universe, ultimately allowing us to reach nirvana. And what about the Judeo-Christian and Islamic religions, for which all share the Bible's Old Testament? Some Old Testament scholars tell us that its roots are grounded in hatred, not kindness and gentleness. It hates women. Eve caused the fall of man by giving Adam forbidden fruit. It hates knowledge. The tree of knowledge tempts man for striving to become more than he is. And it hates the outsider. Religious wars pit tribes against each other. And what about the state of nature? Is it kinder and gentler? We get a big no for an answer when observing all animals. They kill and eat for survival. And only closely related animals form cooperative social groups or tribes that will battle one another to extend their territories. And what did the early Renaissance philosopher Thomas Hobbes say about man and nature? His most famous quote goes like this: "Unless man forms a contract which states what people are supposed to do, life is solitary, poor, nasty, brutish, and short." Well, ever since the dawn of the Enlightenment, Western civilizations generally agree that technological advances allow people to move away from the edge of survival and towards a more comfortable lifestyle. And once that happens, cultures can become climbing up Maslow's hierarchy of needs to reach for nobler goals, one of which is respect for others. Let's interpret that to be kinder and gentler. Well, do we see that when viewing the world through the lens of current events? Hardly. We have Putin's Ukrainian war, riots in Iran, ethnic terrorism in Somalia, protests in Israel, contested elections in Brazil, and China's harsh treatment of the Uyghurs. According to credible news reports, China has been forcibly mass sterilizing Uyghur women to suppress the population and separating children from their families and attempting to break cultural traditions of the group. And let's look closer to home. The United States is still the best place to live, and Americans not only realize the problems, but many work to solve them. However, solutions are still a work in progress. Some examples of contentious issues: racial considerations for college admissions, political polarization between neoliberal left and neoconservative right that causes gridlock in the halls of Congress, abortion, anti-abortion battles being waged at the ballot box as well as in the Supreme Court, minority and ethnic protests for entitlements and recognition as well as respect. Some analysts say it is all too easy to feel helpless and overwhelmed unless we use a longer lens when considering the point of view. And when we do, it shows that America has made great progress since its founding. And they say that America's future can be bright if our people pull together instead of apart. And that outcome is in the hands of the people. We have agency. We can act and make decisions that can lead us to a kinder and gentler place. And I can add my anecdotal observations by comparing different student age group cohorts that I teach. At one university, I teach adults who are working diligently to complete a degree that they may have started years earlier. They are older than typical undergraduates and are focused on themselves. Working in teams to complete certain assignments is not that important to them. At another university, my students are mostly 18 to 22. They don't have the same drive as my older cohorts, most likely because they have not yet experienced the challenges in the workplace of working without a college degree. They like to help one another by working in teams and voluntarily covering for students who fall behind. And these younger cohorts seem to place more importance on ESG issues. ESG is an acronym for environmental, social, and governance. These students appear to be much more diverse and to like one another. Some career counselors say that Gen Z and millennials don't have the career-focused work ethic of previous generations and are unwilling to jump through hoops. They don't learn as well because they don't study or do as much homework. And they want a better balance between their professional and personal lives. But from my point of view, I think the younger generation is smarter than the older ones and certainly does a better job planning for their future. And young people know how to make the most of the latest computer and communication technologies. I am optimistic for an American future that lets younger people assume their place in all parts of our culture. The future belongs to the young, and its increasing percentage that votes mirrors this belief. I think this is a swell place to end this video, so I'll do it right now. And I hope you got something out of it. Thank you for listening, and bye-bye until next time.